Arsenal may be top of the Premier League, but Mikel Arteta is already looking for reinforcements in the January and summer transfer window. It is clear to see that Arsenal are a bit light in the midfield areas, as well as lacking the necessary clinical edge in the striker position. It is not down to the fact that Gabriel Jesus and Eddie Nketiah have been poor, but more that Arsenal as an attacking unit have been creating a multitude of chances which just aren't being taken. For a team that wants to make that next step and win the Premier League, it is crucial that chances are being taken. Reliable source Fabrizio Romano has said that Arsenal have Douglas Luiz at the top of the list for midfielders in the January transfer window. He does go to say that it will be difficult to do as Villa really want to keep the player. If you remember back to last summer, Arsenal were chasing Douglas Luiz as somebody to plug a little gap in the midfield area, but Villa were adamant that they did not want to sell him. We have seen a reoccurring theme that Mikel Arteta has a tendency to never let go of his targets. This can be seen with the signing of Kai Havertz, where Arteta wanted the attacking midfielder when he was at Leverkusen. It is understood that Villa would want a ridiculous fee for Douglas Luiz, considering that they are third in the Premier League and also finishing top of their Conference League group. There is no need for them to sell the Brazilian midfielder. However, it is understood that Douglas Luiz would actually be interested in a move to Arsenal, with personal terms already agreed last summer, where again he wanted to make the move to the red side of London, but again Aston Villa shut the door. Fabrizio Romano does state that Arsenal know that it would take a huge fee to sign Luiz, but Arsenal are not put off by the prospect of a large fee because they are just so light in that area. With Thomas Partey going to the African Cup of Nations, Jorginho suffering an injury that left him out of the squad against Brighton, to the point where youngster Lewis Skelly had to take his place on the bench. Even the ever-present Declan Rice had to play through illness because Arsenal were just so light in the midfield area. However, if Luiz is a deal that is not able to be done, Arsenal have Amadou Onana from Everton as a potential second option for that midfield area. When Arsenal were after Caicedo last January, Onana was a player that was again a backup option. But Arsenal felt that it was better off addressing the midfield issue in the summer, whereby they got their man Declan Rice for a British world record fee. What we do know is that Arsenal will never rush to make signings. They always have to wait until it's right for the club, but also right for the player. With the re-emergence of Kai Havertz's form in the number 8 position, maybe Mikel Arteta will think that it's better to address the midfield issue in the summer window. Now onto the striker position, which Arsenal are looking at. Ivan Toney is a name that has been all over the papers as a target for Arsenal. With him being out of action until January, Brentford would be willing to sell their star man. Reliable source Fabrizio Romano has stated that Toney is so keen to join Arsenal. However, it is to my understanding that the deal is more likely to be a loan with the option to buy. This would then mean Arsenal would make the signing of David Raya permanent. Arsenal are willing to wait until the summer to make that number 9 signing. Havertz, Trossard, Jesus, even Martinelli, they can all play in that number 9 position. So maybe Arsenal will decide that Toney isn't really a necessity unless it's a loan with an option/obligation to buy. Victor Osimhen is the number 1 target to my understanding, and the guy that Arsenal want to splash big on. Maybe not in January, but in the summer window for sure. Arsenal will be one of the clubs at the front of the pile to sign Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen will extend his contract though, but it must be known that there will be a release clause of around 110 million in that contract. Arsenal, I am told, are not put off by this big fee and are willing to make it 2 summers in a row whereby they spend 100 million on a single player. Could you imagine an attack force of Victor Osimhen in the number 9 position, Gabriel Martinelli on the left, and Bukayo Saka on the right? This would be a team not only ready to dominate on a national level, but conquer internationally too. Osimhen has that clinical edge needed, as well as the powerful strength to hold up the ball that we get from Gabriel Jesus. He is also rapid and very good at running the channels. If you saw his goal in his last game, it is proper predatory striker movement to get that chance. But also his assist to Kvaratskhelia was absolutely world class, juggling the ball in tight areas, then having the presence of mind to see his teammate over the other side of the box, and he finished it off perfectly. Could you imagine that sort of link play with Gabriel Martinelli coming into the box and finishing after Osimhen drags defenders and attracts them towards him? That would be a scary sight for the Premier League. We must not forget Gabriel Jesus, who came to the club when the likes of Chelsea, Spurs, Real Madrid, Juventus all wanted him. He came, he wanted to be the number 9 for us. It is to my understanding that Napoli are interested in Gabriel Jesus, but Arsenal have zero intention to sell their Brazilian number 9. Arsenal want to have a colossal attacking unit of Gabriel Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, Bukayo Saka and Victor Osimhen, with the option of even having Kai Havertz and Leandro Trossard to play there. Well, there you have it, a roundup of Arsenal's transfer plans with Victor Osimhen and Douglas Luiz as the top target. Could you imagine adding that quality to the current Arsenal team, which is already very good? You would have defensive stability with Douglas Luiz as well as attacking quality, and then you would just have an absolute beast in Victor Osimhen in the number 9 position to score goals, link play and run in behind. Mikel Arteta is building a super team if he can get these deals done. Next up, a trip to Anfield for Arsenal, which will be a tough test for the Gunners, and we must have that clinical edge with us. Otherwise, Anfield is a ground that can swallow up any team or any players. Let me know in the comment section what you think the score is going to be when Arsenal travel to Anfield. I'm feeling pretty confident. I feel as though the players will be fired up, knowing that this is first v second and could go a long way deciding which team is going to have the Premier League title at the end of this season. Arsenal are certainly becoming a force again, especially after seeing Jurgen Klopp trying to get the Liverpool supporters to make it a hostile atmosphere, just so they can have a lift to play Arsenal. That is all for now. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Come on, you Gunners.